We'd like to introduce our brother Lucky Murray. What's up, brother?
What's going on, people? How y'all doing today?
Man,
all right, bro. How you feeling?
No complaints at all, brother.
Man, I'm doing good, man. Football season, school is crazy. Hey, man, this is 2020. You know what I'm saying? So it's all good.
All right, so we're gonna bring you in for the CHH segment because CHH is like really what you do.
Yes, sir.
Brother got the website. He has the top 10. He be bringing out, man. He have his own type podcast. His brother got all these things going on.
Yes, sir.
So before we start, we do it like this.
CHH segment.
All right, so we're here to talk about the CHH segment. We got our guy Lucky Murray in here. Lucky Murray,
brother.
What's up?
From South Carolina.
Yes, sir.
Place. Now look, bro. Before we even get into the CHH, right?
Yeah.
You're from the place. From the starting point guard of my favorite team, the Memphis Grizzlies, because I'm originally from Memphis. Mr. John Morant is from South Carolina, as well as Zion. And so salute to that already. Top. So it don't matter if this interview is terrible. The fact that you was from South Carolina, I rock with you, brother. I'm kidding.
We've been putting out great basketball products over the years. You know, Kevin Garnett, Ray Allen.
That's true. I forgot KG from there.
Jermaine O'Neal from back in the day was from my high school, Oakland High School.
Straight out of high school to the pros.
Yeah.
Hold up. Now I'm gonna tell you, my wife is silly, man. I'm gonna show you what she put. Can you look on the screen what she put on there? And for our podcast listeners, she said, "Nice mic, bro. Come on through." Yeah.
Hey, when you do this every Friday and you have your own internet radio station, you better have some type of microphone, you know?
Yeah. Now, before we go on, I'm gonna say something. That would be the only time you ever hear C. Michael say yes, because that is reserved for women, and I don't get to do that. So I'm just joking, but I don't do that gas, bro. Nah, I'm sorry. Anyway,
I appreciate you for acknowledging that you said it, because I wasn't
gonna say that neither. I was just gonna let it ride. You know,
I saw y'all eyes when I said it, but look, I was just reading what wifey said. Look, wifey said
that's the only reason you get a pass. Otherwise, that car.
Rob, I would be like, yo, you need to talk to your man. Like your man said, yes. I ain't know what's going on, but
hey, I was just reading the comment. Look, I left hand gang all day, man and a woman. Anyway, so
she put sizzling up there.
Stop it, sis. Wife talking about some sizzling. No, I'm not. Okay, look, pause. Before we get to you, bro, we gotta tell you this one story. So we friends with a rapper named SoCom. SoCom is from Florida. That's my brother, right? Yeah. So me, Rob, and SoCom was in Nashville for a Stellar Awards event, I think. And we were some rappers there, right? Yeah. And after we got through, we went to a restaurant, and it was let me see the best way to say it. It was a lot of alternative lifestyles in the restaurant. You know what I mean? So my back was to the people behind me, right?
Right.
But they was looking dead at SoCom, and SoCom, they was like, "Hey man, what you want?" They was like, "Man, what you?" I was asking you, bro, what you want to get? He told the waiter, "I want some sizzling chicken." Dude behind me said, "Ooh, sizzling chicken."
Like, you shouldn't be that excited about some sizzling chicken. You could have said it in a little deeper, you know what I'm saying?
Hey, I'm gonna tell you.
Look, SoCom got 4 girls, so he's straight. But I'm just saying, it was hilarious.
I'm telling SoCom you told the story, bro.
Yeah, I love you, bro. But it was apropos to the conversation. Go ahead, Rob.
Moving right along, brother. Moving right along. So, sir.
Yes, sir.
Tell the world about what you got going on right now as far as the website before we get into these questions here.
Definitely.
All right, so basically, I run a site called CHHnow.com. I started it about 2 years ago after I basically started as a YouTuber. And basically, what I saw was being an artist, I needed to, have more longevity when it came to music. So I started doing like YouTube commentary on Christian hip hop. Yeah. And I really gained a little following from that. So I was like, I'm gaining a following right here. How can I think outside the box to, expand my reach? So then I was like, I want to start a blog site. But not just a blog site. I want to help independent Christian hip hop artists, get a platform. Simply being CHH only has like one major platform, but I wanted to kind of have something else that artists can go to. And so I started CHH Now, and then I did it for like a year. And this year I ramped it up. because of the COVID-19. And then I started my internet radio station, 44 Radio, which is the name of the little city I'm in South Carolina. We're known as our zip code 29644. So that is the media brand. So I do my YouTube. CHH now is for, independent artists. I do cover major Christian hip hop artists, but mainly I want to get a platform for independent artists that's bubbling up. And then also I got my internet radio station that I'm running, as well as I do the Lucky Murray show there. And I also do Review Fridays, where I review independent Christian hip hop artists who only submit their music through CHHnow.com. So in a nutshell, I'm more of a multi-media personality, you know what I'm saying? And I still do my artistry as well.
First of all, brother, I got to give you one of these.
Definitely.
I'm going to tell the story. So a couple of weeks ago, you came in my inbox. You told me, hey, you was like, hey, man, you wanted to come on, right? And I asked you, I was like, bro, you're an artist? He's like, no, I'm an artist. But what I want to come on is talk about CHH. And I have this website. You was talking about the website that you was just talking about. Yeah. And I told you yesterday in the pre-show, that impressed me so much, man, because we've had people in the inbox, but they just trying to get an interview. Hey, yo, what I got to do an interview? And, we definitely want to help the body, but we just want to be led. That's that's how I'm gonna say about that. I want to be led. But what impressed me is that, okay, you didn't want to get on just to promote you. Yeah. See, you wanted to talk about the whole thing of CHH, and man, I feel like that's what we need so much more in CHH, because in CHH there's so many divisions, right? So we got like the elite, reach, basically, and everybody that's shoulder to shoulder with that. Then you got people that's a little lower than that, that's able to work full time but are still independent. And then you got people like probably me and Rob, maybe even you. We work a job and we rap. We do a lot of other things. Rap is not everything, even though preaching is my main calling, but I preach through rhyming, right? I'm trying to get the gospel out by any means necessary, right? So absolutely. We kind of started this podcast in the same vein, and with the same thing with we wanted to talk about what we talk about on the phone, because me and him would be on the phone the whole hour and be like, man, we should have recorded this joint,
Right.
Yeah. So question I have for you, brother, is how long have you been involved in the music industry, like as an artist?
Well, I was, ever since high school, at the age of 14, I started, writing records. At 16, started producing. It wasn't until I was 22 or 23 years old, and I was doing music off and on, but it was positive music. It wasn't until 2011, 12 when I was saved, and I was 22, 23 years old, and then I started doing Christian rap. So I fell in love with this community because it seemed like it fit me perfectly. Well, I didn't really want to curse in my raps, even when I was doing like secular stuff. But at the same time, I felt like there was a community that shared my same belief as I thought. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And I thought it was a tight-knit community. So I just bum rushed into it. And a lot of artists that comes from the secular side that comes in here, they did the same thing. Like I like rapping. You know what I'm saying? I can do this, and they get into it. And what I found was that it was much harder for you to get a grip, because the people at the top stays at the top. That's like the gospel music industry. That's the Christian music industry. A lot of the guys that are there, they're there for the long haul. So if you're trying to take their spot, you better come with it, because they're not going to give it up for free. Right. And then I saw that, through trial and error, I kept trying to submit my music to these different sites. I don't know if my music wasn't trendy enough, and I don't make really trendy music, but it wasn't getting placed, and I got discouraged. Yeah. And then, it wasn't until I started doing YouTube, because I'm like, man, I'm not gaining no traction. I'm not doing anything like that. So what do I need to do? And that's when I started my YouTube channel, and I was like, people are like my personality. And the thing that I use now is my music is a vehicle to get people into who I am as Lucky Murray. And then they see like, oh man, this dude got a podcast. Oh man, this dude got a radio station. Oh man, this dude has a lot of people when they review to me, they don't even know I'm an artist. You know what I'm saying? So when I give you a review, I'm giving it from an artist perspective. So so man, to answer your question, I've been doing music, man, all my life pretty much, but I didn't really get serious until like 2012, 2013.
Gotcha.
So to slide on to that next question, kind of to piggyback off what you said, and I'm gonna give an example from this question. What goes into your music selection for your site? And here's my example. Do you keep an open ear and an open mind? or do you tend to lean toward the current wave?
All CHH is included with me because I think that CHH needs to be diverse in the way people look at it. So you need to have your boom bap here, you need to have your trendy here, and then you need to have, you know what I'm saying, your laid back. You need to have all of that here.
Yeah.
So that right there is something that I do it all.
Okay, good deal.
So I got a question that came in on one of our chats. Perry Tankard II says, what does unity look like in CHH? Very good question. That's a very deep question.
Yeah, that's a whole show.
Yeah, it's definitely a whole show, and I can kind of answer it, just summing up. But basically, it starts off with people actually living what they talk about on records, first and foremost.
Hold on. Hold on. I gotta give you one of them. Say it again, brother, for the people in the back.
So it takes people to live what they talk about in the record. So a lot of times, people are not truly believers in God. I'm not saying that they're not sincere in their walk, but they don't really understand the cost that it takes to first follow Jesus. Forget about doing music, forget about these shows, forget about the money. Like, the call to follow Jesus is one that is not taken lightly. And what happened with the internet, which is the downside of Christian hip hop, was that people could get on and these blog sites like, oh, you sound trendy, because they're trying to get to another level as far as revenue streams as that. Yeah, and then they put them on without, trying to check these guys and see, hey man, do he even read his Bible? Do he know what the New Testament and the Old Testament is? You know what I'm saying? Like simple things like that. So I think that once artists truly starts, what's the one I'm looking for? Starts living what they talk about. The next step is that we need to have unity as far as, hey, look, man, we're representing the body of Christ. It shouldn't be, oh, how many followers you got? Oh, I can't benefit from that. But it's like, hey, man, we need people lifting people up to build a true unity, because Christian hip hop does not look like the white evangelical youth group circuits. That's just only part of it. Christian hip hop looks a lot like me and you. I'm saying? People who love God but just love hip hop. And I think that, and then we need some leaders, man, other than Lecrae, that's gonna step up and really take, do conferences, budget friendly. You know what I'm saying? Don't charge us an arm and a leg, you know what I'm saying? Because we all work in jobs, but budget friendly conferences that teach artists how to be artists, have network opportunities in certain different parts of the country that can unify this thing. And then I think that that's going to take some time. But the start is to simply just living what you talk about in your records. That's the first and foremost thing that individually, if people start doing that, then you see collectively that the genre will start getting better.
Man, that's right on point. You touched on something about what we have to, and we spoke on this in our faith segment about what you feed in your spirit. I think a lot of times you're right. These folks put certain people on their playlists. And I know I was listening to a playlist, and I'll get into my question next, but I was listening to a playlist and the song was super dope. So, on Spotify, you click the artist, I go to the artist, and that was like his only clean song. But here it is on the Christian playlist because they're trying to get the streams. But no disrespect to you and your brand, but how do you compete, for lack of a better word, with some of the larger websites who are only putting people on for the money? How are you marketing yourself and your brand?
So for me, I go straight to the independent artists. I know that if I link up with a few independent artists that are on the uprise and we on the uprise together, then eventually they're going to be the ones that are next. And what I see with a lot of the major hip hop brands is that they stuck it out with that platform was with them as well. And so you got to play the long game and not the short game. And I think a lot of people want to play the short game trying to compete. You're not going to compete. You got to look at it like this: Blockbuster and Netflix. When Netflix first came out, they did not compete with Blockbuster at all. Matter of fact, they went to Blockbuster and be like, yo, look, this is my opportunity. This is what we got. We want to partner up. Blockbuster laughed them in their face. And now there's only one Blockbuster left in the country. And I think it's in Alaska. So I look at it more so, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? I look at it more so as, long term versus short term. And eventually it will happen, but I'm patient. And the spirit of the fruits is actually patience. So that's what I try to practice when it comes to this. It's hard work, don't get me wrong, but it's no shortcut to success. So that's what I'm doing every day. I'm reaching out to independent artists. If they rock with me, amen. If they don't, it doesn't matter, because eventually you're going to hear about Lucky Murray. You're going to hear about CHH now. You're going to hear about the movement, and then you're going to want to come along. But it's going to be too late because, hey, look, you should have came on while the train was there. When the movement is hard to get on. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Well,
so, go ahead, Rob. Go ahead.
I wanted to say, I hope for every artist that's listening right now, or if you listen to the archives or the replay, I want you indie artists to be encouraged, because I know sometimes it can be discouraging when you're coming up. Even for us, it's not the same. We've reached out to certain people, and like you said, we don't have the numbers, we don't have the followers, so it didn't benefit them. Maybe they were too busy. I don't know. There's no love lost. But for all you indie artists or all you business owners, entrepreneurs, hey, stay consistent. The best thing that you could possibly do, from what Lucky's saying, is stay consistent in your brand, stay consistent in what you're doing, and remain faithful over the little things, and God, he'll open up those doors and make you ruler of money.
No, I was talking about what DJ P Dog, he was talking about KJ52 being one of the greatest, but he's also was saying how he had the class that you were speaking of earlier. And then what I had touched on while you had walked off, man, I had talked about how something that the Lord has to help me with, because sometimes, I know a lot of people because I've been rapping almost 18 years. So I met a lot of rappers, right? And the people I know is all good, but sometimes, if you see somebody be like, man, I don't know, man, who do something like this? They ask a question, right? Yeah. And it's an artist that's very popular. And if I respond to it and somebody don't say something, it touched me sometimes. Yeah. Man, I'll be honest. And the reason I say that is because, like, unless you just go on social media and don't have no notifications on, which some people do, most people, man, they checking them notifications. You checking them mentions. You know what I mean? So it's like, what to me is like, yo, you can't just say, hey, nah, man, I don't want this. You can't acknowledge that. And like, like I can't be so much artist that I'm not a Christian. You dig what I'm saying? And I can't be that much artist that like, yo, this dude kind of small time, so I can't, bruh. Like, cause like, anyway, I ain't gonna say what I'm gonna say, but go ahead, bro. Sometimes you want to see somebody hit them in their chest, like, bro, you ain't that. So don't be that over here. You know what I mean? So
praise God for that's just I'm gonna let you go, Lucky, but I'm gonna say this. No, go ahead. Praise God for accountability, because that situation almost happened.
Well, see, I'm talking like I'm the one be ready to swing Rob. If that happened to me and Rob be there, he be ready to get him. Like,
hey, Rob look like the type of person that if was stuff.
Hey, whoa, you know what I'm saying? They ain't deceiving. He's like, saying whoa, but they ain't deceiving. They ain't deceiving.
It's the quiet dudes you gotta be. It's the quiet dudes you really gotta watch out for. But see, I agree with you 100%, and here's why. I think what has happened is that we live on almost like a bubble. Mm-hmm. And I look at like the walls of Jericho, right? Christian hip hop, the elites are inside the walls of Jericho, and everybody else is on the outside looking in. And every so often they allow some peasant, and I don't want to call it peasant, I'm just using that example, to kind of come in, and it's like, oh, they noticed me. And Eric Thomas, ET the hip hop preacher said this years ago, and this is one of the things I follow. He said you got to go where you celebrate it and not tolerate it, right? So for me, and see, I can agree with you, man. When people be like, yo, man, these media outlets, you know what I'm saying, you need to go to. CHH now is never mentioned. And I'm like, bro, I know I'm putting on work. And then God has a humble like, Lucky, you're doing everything you can, and celebrate the people that celebrate you. Don't worry about the people that don't celebrate you, because eventually it's going to turn around. And before you know it, it's like, man, I was trying to get to you, but now I surpassed you. And then you can show them Christ that they should have showed you. I feel like that's a fact. I feel like a lot of people they're trying to chase what you got to ask yourself, what do you want, right? Mm-hmm. A lot of people don't know what they want. They try to chase this mainstream dream, and as you guys know, the mainstream hip hop scene is nothing but lies. You know what I'm saying? They manipulate the plays, they manipulate everything that they do, they imagery, everything to try to make you feel like they're rich, and they really probably make it just as much money as you when it takes all this stuff into account. But a lot of these CHH artists don't understand that. They don't understand ownership. They don't understand cultivating a fan base. They don't understand true networking, which means that, look, networking is not what can you do for me, but what can we, let's build, and then what can we do for each other? You know what I'm saying? But that takes time. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not calling you guys like, yo, man, I'm trying to get on. It's like, nah, we built a relationship and y'all see me doing my thing. Like, yo, Lucky, I see you doing this. Come on the show. I got whoop, whoop, whoop. And I can do the same thing. Hey, yo, guys, this platform's blowing up. Hey, man, y'all come on through. I can show y'all love. And I think that's why CHH hasn't really been built the way it needs to be, because I read a Soup to Kim's book. It was the same thing going on. You know what I'm saying? Like, they had some unity, but if, let's say, somebody was coming up, like, they was talking about DC Talk, you know what I'm saying? And Toby Mac about them, like, yo, they ain't no true MCs. Like, what? But they're elevating the hip hop space. Right. They may not do it the way that you're doing it, but it should all be love. And I think
Toby Mac is still going now. Still.
Oh, absolutely.
Still selling out arenas right now.
You should have been on the bandwagon. You should have networked that, brother. You know what I'm saying? But that's the mindset we have. And I think that's the crab in the bucket mentality, that it's not only in CHH, but we take it, but we think that, oh man, this person should have Christ inside of them. It should be different. And we're all sinful men at the end of the day. And we just need to understand, look here, man, everybody's not going to do the right thing because they don't know how to do the right thing. And it goes back to what you're feeding your soul. Do you have quiet time? Do you know God's word? Do you have somebody that can hold you accountable? Before you get on any record, before you make any video, before you pitch to any blogs, are you taking care of yourself? Because when you get on them roads and you're not disciplined, the same temptation is going to come at you. And I don't care how much you say Christian Japanese, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? The deceiver is coming for you. And if your foundation is built on sin, I'm sorry, brother, you're going to sink. So I just think that it's a hard issue that CHH needs to deal with on a major scale. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of the main, and shout out to DJ P Dog, man. He's one of the brothers that's helping me as well, just off the strength. And I think that the main blog sites, you ask them about CHH, oh, it's great, we got all this stuff over here, because you're generating money from these people. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Talk to the people that's down on ground zero, and we're on a sinking boat. That's what I did. Right.
So I'm gonna move into the next question for you. So what are some of the challenges of you getting those stories and interviews being at ground level?
Well, a lot of the main artists, they don't return your calls. You know what I'm saying? So you be like, yo, man, I do this or whatever. And you got to go through a publicist and go through a manager and then go through a road manager and then go through the salon stylist. It's so many levels that you're like, dang, brother, just tell me yes or no. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't, you know what I'm saying? I don't need to go to your manager. All I'm doing is calling you on a Zoom call. We're talking about 20 or 30 minutes. And then another thing is that artists don't want you to criticize them. They only want you to edify them. But if it's something that I don't like, I, being my own opinion, have my own platform, should be able to respectfully disagree or criticize something that you're doing. And I think that's one, respectfully, that's one element of hip hop that we've taken away from Christian hip hop. I say it like this: Christian hip hop has become flag football to hip hop. You know what I'm saying? A lot of the things that hip hop was based on, Christian hip hop, for the sake of the body, has taken it out. But at the same time, we're not checking anybody to see if they are about what they live in. And back in the mid 2000s, if you wasn't talking the talk on those records, and they will come and check you. Oh yeah. And if you didn't align, you was not included in the party, and that could be legalism for sure. But if we get back to the point where's the accountability at? And then another thing that I think of is like, and artists do not want to support what you're doing. Even if you get the interview, even if you set it up, they don't want to put it on their social media page. They don't want to share it. They think that because of their name, that things are supposed to blow up. Newsflash, no, that's not the case, because somebody that's unknown can have more viewers than somebody who's supposed to be a known name. So for me, I think that people have a misjudgment of who they are and where they're at truly in their career, because we have such built-in audience. You go to this youth conference and stand up on stage and you think, 8,800 people on there, that's your fan base. No, that's the church's fan base that they brought there. They would have been there if me or you guys have been up on there. They would have still been there. Right.
So that's a good analogy, right? Hey, That's big time facts, but that's an ego crusher, man. That's an ego crusher for some folks.
Definitely. So it's the last question I get, man. So what do you think? So I've heard that you heard, I think I saw my man Brinson. I'm cool with Brinson. I think you heard his new joint.
Yeah.
And
shout out to Brinson, by the way.
Shout out to Brinson. He's a very,
out.
very cool brother. We
Yes,
had
sir.
him up here in St. Louis before, man. Cool brother.
Real cool.
Good time.
Yeah.
So Brinson been around a long time, and Eshawn came out, I believe that's last week, right?
Yeah.
And one thing, like Eshawn is not my preferred flavor of music, but I respect him though.
Absolutely.
You dig what I'm saying? I'm gonna tell you what I mean. Why I respect him. I respect him because he's him, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Eshawn ain't never about the wave. And my question is, what do you think about? Like, I think there's room for artists that's like, I guess, the wave. But then, what do you think about, someone sticking to what they are in this time, like a Eshawn or even like a Brinson too?
Well, those artists will stand the test of time, because if you look at Brinson, and shout out to Brinson, he's another artist that jumped on my platform and just really been supporting me, man, just behind the scenes, really pouring into me. I think with Christian hip hop, instead of trying to be like the mainstream, build your audience organically by being yourself. And the only way we're going to catch the mainstream's attention is simply, we have to sell records. We have to chart. We have to be able to sell. They care less what God we serve. As long as we can reach these statistical milestones, then it's like, oh, they will be listening. Why has NF and why has Lecrae been able to get into these major labels radars? Simply because they was able to do business. And I think that the way that we can do business, like, look here, oh, you think he's dope? Look at Eshawn.
Right.
You think you look at Brinson, because what's happening is simple. What's the alternative? Artists to sound like ex hot rapper, and then they fizzle out after the playlist that they was featured on, take them off, and they streams go down,
drop dramatically.
Yeah.
But you're hot with 100,000 streams, but only $20 in your pocket. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And so it goes back to, like, what do you want? And I think that being yourself at the end will make you a lot better in the long run than trying to get those short-term successes, which is catching on the wave.
Well, brother, I appreciate you coming on, man. I'm gonna let you get back to your child, man. I appreciate it, man. You dropped some great nuggets. Great nuggets, man. I pray to all the artists that watch us, man. You pay attention to this. If you catch it on the podcast, listen to what this brother is saying. He's dropping some great knowledge, man. And bro, I appreciate it, man. Hopefully it won't be the last time, brother.
Oh, no, y'all know where to find me. You know what I'm saying? It was great, man. CM Rob, thank y'all so much for having me.
Hey, before you go, tell these indie artists who listening, because we got a few of them on here, man. Tell them how they can reach you, and tell them how they can get to your platform, man, and submit music.
Yeah, all right. Definitely. All you simply have to do is go to www.chhnow.com. You go there. The tabs are simple. Go to submit music. Submit music. I do a review Fridays, every single Fridays. I review independent artists who submit their music through chhnow.com. If you make our playlist, we do a top 10 playlist, top 10 list, and that's based off the playlist. So if you go to chhnow.com, you can find all the information to find me, find the submission forms, and also check out the site to see if it's a good fit. You know what I'm saying? And also our playlist is on there as well. So just check out the website, and then, and we could connect. I'm always on social media as Lucky Murray, LUCKYMURRAY. So connect with me. I'm always there. I'm ready to work when you're ready.
Hey, y'all, listen to what he's saying, because I'm going to let you know I've been to the site a few times, just to do our research on the brother. And it's an easy site to navigate. Sometimes with some of these sites, it's very busy. You don't know how to get there, and you hit the submission button and they requiring this, that, and the third. So check them out. www.chhnow.com. Is that correct, Mr. Murray?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Hit them up, indie artists. Sir, we appreciate you coming on.
Thank y'all.
Your family will be in our prayers, man. Take care of your son, and we'll get at you. This is only the beginning, brother.
Yes, sir. Thank y'all so much.
All right, bro.